Hello and welcome back to the Geometrist plays Enter the Gungeon. So, I'm going to be playing as the Marine today, and we're just gonna do some Gungeon running. You know, at this point, there's not much else to do. To tell you the truth, I'm a little bit inebriated once again. And, well, I mean, that worked out well for me last time, so I'm going to try it once again. You know, these early floors, they're pretty straightforward, you know, just take some pot shots at some enemies, don't really worry about too much. I'm particularly fond of the Marine. I love the accuracy of the Marine in the early game. You know, it really just eases everything along to not have to worry about missing shots that I've actually aimed at enemies. But, really, the reason I'm making this video, well, before that, wow, was that an explosion. Anyway, I'm actually not making this video to post on the channel and entertain you guys. I'm making this video as a call for help. You see, I downloaded a little game called Clicker Heroes. And I did this because I was looking for a mobile game to play while I was at work. Basically, I wanted something to do while I was on break and figured, hey, you know, I carry my phone with me everywhere. Why not get a mobile game and play it? So, you know, I weighed some options. Like, I thought about buying Crashlands, which is kind of a don't starve sort of deal, you know, top-down survival game, lots of crafting and such. Got really good reviews. But, well, basically, a video came out that day that I watched, which was talking about Clicker Heroes and how fun it is, and how you actually shouldn't download it because it'll consume every aspect of your life. This is a black chest on the first floor, so there's literally no way we won't be opening that. And so we've got the bracket key. Debug kill. Now, I believe, and this is the first time I've had this item, you know, I'm going to go ahead and just check it in the Ammonomicon before I just talk about it. Large amount of damage to all enemies in the room, a remnant from when the Gungeon was being built. Gungeon architects would use these artifacts to quickly make their way through gundead-infested chambers. Though this one has lost a portion of its power to the ages, it is still a potent weapon. So this seems like it could be pretty good for us. Potentially just walk into a room and delete it if we don't like it. But anyways, you know, I heard that Clicker Heroes consumes your life, and for some reason, I decided that I needed to download this game. Well, as it turns out, now, like every waking moment, I have this nagging thought in the back of my head, which is, I wonder how much gold I've earned in Clicker Heroes. Do I need to start my game? Do I need to worry about some optimization stuff right now? Like, this is, it's just real bad, man. Like, I can't stop. I've actually wound up, like, opening Clicker Heroes on my phone in every spare moment of time. And even if it's not the sole focus of what I'm doing, I'm still, like, thinking about how to optimize my run. It's eating my life and my time. Like, I wake up in the morning, and more or less the first thing I do is, like, go see how Clicker Heroes is doing, see how much gold I got while it was idling overnight. And it's one of those freaking idler games that, you know, you don't even have to do anything. The game plays itself, more or less. Now, clicking does speed the process up, but I've actually created an idle build that I'm using, and it just, like, I mean, I barely input anything, but I'm still managing the game and optimizing everything very literally every chance I get. And, you know, I'm starting to think that maybe I need help. So, I'm a little disappointed that the bracket key didn't just outright kill the Bullet King's minion there. Now, it did apparently do quite a bit of damage to the Bullet King himself, though. So that's good. That's the kind of thing I like to see. So we were far enough away from that attack that I didn't really worry about it. Normally that is an attack that I blank, but I felt like we were in a position where we were far enough away from the Bullet King to not worry about getting hit by it. So I almost got hit there because I used the bracket key. And the screen flash covered up some shots from it. I'll go ahead and just use a blank just because we're getting close to the end and I want to ensure the flawless victory. And we'll move on. Bundle of Wands is pretty strong. I like it. That's my room clearer now because the ability to polymorph enemies is pretty good. This, however, is very unfortunate because, yes, as I thought, we're done with this floor. And being done with this floor means that there's no opportunity to get a key to open that chest. And it was a better quality chest than that blue one. But, yeah, so we just wound up getting junk out of it. But yeah, so basically, and I know this was a big deal in games media a little bit back, like a couple of years ago, but are you guys familiar with the idea of a Skinner box? So basically, the guy who developed this was named Skinner, hence the name of the Skinner box. And it's a mechanism for training animals to perform certain actions. Basically, the setup of the box is such that the animal receives a reward whenever it performs the desired action. The original, I believe, had rats in a chamber where if they pressed a lever, they would get food. And this trained the rats to press the lever on account of, you know, them expecting food to drop every time that they pressed it. And the idea of the Skinner box is that even once you take away the reward or deliver that reward at a slower pace, the subject will still perform the action that they were trained to perform by receiving the reward, because their brain still anticipates receiving a reward for that action. And this is a concept that has been applied in many video games. World of Warcraft is an example where you get trained to do quests and, you know, engage in the leveling, and not just WoW, any MMO, by getting rewards really quickly. You know, in the early game, you get rewards for everything you do. You constantly get upgrades to your gear. And as you get further and further in the game, you receive less and less for doing the same amount of work. And this is an example of it. You're trained to perform an action, and then once the reward rate slows down, you'll still perform that action for less reward, because now your brain associates that action with the reward. And really, Clicker Heroes, as far as I can tell, is the truest form of the Skinner box in gaming. Because it doesn't aspire to be anything else. It just says, hey, look, you open the game, you tap your screen, and like gold falls out of these enemies. And your heroes, they level up, they get stronger. And the numbers keep growing and growing exponentially forever. That was a really easy room. Thank you, Bundle of Wands. And that makes it so that you're just getting a reward. You're getting a reward structure, and the activity that it's rewarding is clicking the screen and having the game open. And I'm stuck. Like, I know it's a Skinner box, but I still get that sweet hit of dopamine every time I open the game and watch my numbers get bigger. And the game really is ingeniously designed, because rather than like following all the way through and then having some sort of end game, you reset your world and use hero souls that you acquire to do more damage or purchase ancients that give various benefits to you. And what that means is that the game effectively has unlimited replayability, because your numbers never stop getting bigger. You'll always make it further than that last run. You'll get just a little bit more damage. And even though I'm aware of this, even though I know that it's a Skinner box, I can't stop. Like, I don't know if I don't care, or like if brain chemistry is just really that powerful that what I know doesn't affect how I feel about things. But I have fallen hook, line, and sinker for this Skinner box. So it looks like both of our chests are green on this floor. The shot bow is not a good reward. Hopefully I'll get a key from this boss fight, because considering that what we got initially was the shot bow, I would very much like to get a more, let's say, preferable item. I'm interested in the idea of getting a green tier passive. Now, unfortunately, there's no guarantee that it will be a passive. It could be an active as well. All I know is that it won't be a gun, because we've already gotten a gun on this floor. And you can't have both chests be a gun. The shot bow is holding up remarkably well here. When this guy spawns, Aw, that's sad. I really thought that the bracket key would damage the missiles too, but apparently it just damages enemies, which means that we won't be getting a flawless here. Like, I thought that I was safe, because I thought the bracket key was just gonna break that and I was gonna move on. But it looks like yet again we won't be getting the super hot watch unlock that we've been looking forward to for so long. Unless, you know, something miraculous happens, we get like a clone or some such item. I really shouldn't have wasted a blank there, because it was really unlikely that the secret room was going to be right there on account of the shop being more or less surrounded on 3 sides. I'm actually going to try using a blank on this other chest room, and if that doesn't work out, I'll just shoot it. That chicken teleported, and I'm not okay with that. I mean, once you have teleporting chickens, the world isn't safe. Everyone knows that chickens are freaking dangerous. Everyone's played The Legend of Zelda and seen what happens when chickens are just left to go on a murderous rampage. And let me tell you, even though I've been able to shoot chickens in this once they spawn and kill them, I don't trust them. I've got an inherent distrust of chickens because I grew up playing Legend of Zelda. Now, I say that, but that's not actually true. I'm old enough that my first console that I ever played was the NES. But, you know, I didn't actually own The Legend of Zelda, nor did I have A Link to the Past on my Super Nintendo. My first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time, and I rented that. I guess the first Zelda game I owned was Link's Awakening DX on the Game Boy Color. The first console Zelda game I owned was Majora's Mask. Though, personally, I do think that Majora's Mask is the best Zelda game. Unless you count the remakes, in which case Wind Waker is my personal favorite Zelda game. When I say that about the remakes, I think that the reasoning behind that is that once the remake came out, they shortened the portion of the game in which you just go around hunting for Triforce pieces and buying maps from Tingle to find them, which was really just an absolutely unfun, abysmal part of the game. And without that taking 5 years to complete, the game got a whole lot better. So, if we're counting remakes, I gave it to Wind Waker. Otherwise, Majora's Mask, just because, like, the dark tone, the themes of depression, and, you know, the stages of grief that are present in the game, even though the developers deny that they designed it that way, really make for a more mature and engaging story, in my opinion. Besides that, the gameplay loop of Majora's Mask is very unique. The idea of having a hard time limit on pretty much everything that you do, and having to reset elements of the world to keep playing, is very unique. It's not something that we've seen in other games, even to this day. Now, granted, there may be some that I've missed that weren't high profile that did something similar, but Majora's Mask is certainly the only game to have that idea implemented so well. You know, similar mechanics exist in, say, like Dead Rising, where you have a time limit, but they don't have that element of resetting the world that's present in Majora's Mask. Now, that said, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild looks absolutely stunning. We've seen gameplay footage of it now. The Nintendo Treehouse event during E3 showed several demos of people actually playing the game, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks like it could shape up to be the best game that Nintendo has put out in a long time. It even stands out as potentially being one of the best one of the best games ever to be released by Nintendo, from the looks of it, in my opinion. It looks to be so in-depth, the world is amazing, and the art is absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna buy a sponge. I think that the immunity to all status effect types is absolutely worth it. Sponge is, in my opinion, a fantastic item. And, you know, as far as damage goes, we're still just getting carried by this bundle of wands and its ability to polymorph enemies. We're going to go ahead and buy this other key, because we haven't been getting lucky with key drops. I do not intend to use that on the brown chest on this floor, because I think the brown chests really just aren't very good, all in all. So I went ahead and took a level of curse and sacrificed an HP in order to make myself stronger on that temple. That's another place where I think it's worth it. I think that the benefit that you get is worth more than one heart container. Now, granted, that's an easier decision to make if you flawless every boss up until this point. And as we know, I have not managed to flawless the beholster of all enemies. So we got the laser sight. We should be the most accurate ever now, because we already have a passive accuracy increase from playing as the Marine. No, I got hit. I didn't hit Q fast enough. This performance is making me sad, because I know I'm better at this, at this game, and I don't know. I've lost my touch, I guess. Granted, this is a run where we don't have terribly powerful items. The black chest early on really didn't provide us with as much benefit as I'd like, because I'd much rather have a powerful gun than a powerful active item. And I'm still sort of reeling from that, because as you can see from there, It's just not that good against bosses. I don't have any great way to deal with them. And I'd argue that having a good boss killer is more important than having good room clearers in this game, because flawlessing bosses gives you the chance to stack up that passive HP benefit, whereas clearing rooms does not. So I don't think the pitchfork is very good. I don't like it, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it to try and deal some, damage over time to Cannon Balrog here. It does at least have good range. And so the boss fight's done. Sadly, we do not have a passive. And is that the Moon Scraper? Game, please. Don't do me dirty like this, game. No secret room in here. No secret room in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop way over here to the right side and destroy this chest that I guess I teleported the wrong way because I thought that I could move between those rooms and I can't. Anyway, I'm gonna go over here and I'm just gonna break this brown chest because I think that a brown chest on the 3rd floor just isn't worth the time or the effort. Get some junk. I'll go back to the shop and let's see. So I'll sell my junk and thinking about selling weapons. See, so I'm gonna sell the pitchfork because I just don't like it that much. I think it's not that great of a weapon. The shot bow is out of ammo and I don't like it, so I'll take that currency. Trick gun is not very good, so I'll sell it and we'll move on. Now this has left me with not very many guns at all, but to be perfectly honest, compared to what I've sold, I'm not losing that much when compared even to the marine sidearm. So I'm just gonna go on down and accept that, I'm just gonna have to eat that loss and hope that the money buys me something nice on this floor. I am somewhat starting to regret the fact that I sold my HP to get stronger because I wasn't even able to flawless the boss on that last floor, which means that I am not strong enough. And that HP may wind up being the difference in whether I can actually make any kind of solid performance on bullet hell or not. So I went ahead and used the bracket key there and cleared that room. I just didn't want to give Mr. Summoning Shaman a chance to bring out his golden skeleton friend. We'll go ahead and shoot again, and we're out of ammo for that. So it is Moon Scraper time. Let's see. So a green chest. I'm gonna hold off on opening it on account of just having the one key. I figure I can buy another one in the shop, but I want to wait and make sure that I don't get something like a chest with a fuse on it. Because if I get like a black chest with a fuse and can't open it, then I would hate myself. And that's not what I want. I'd much rather save it and have the opportunity to get better benefit out of the keys that I have on the off chance that I get one of those. Now that guy did get to summon his minion, but we were able to take care of it before it became a problem. The Moon Scraper is not terribly strong. Now it can, ricochet off of things, potentially hit more than one enemy at a time, or let you make trick shots off of walls to, hit enemies from safe locations. But I think that it's very much a weapon that you have to have a solid grasp of to use properly. You need to understand what you're doing with this weapon, or you're gonna have a bad time. So I'm gonna switch to the marine sidearm. because I think that these guys are pretty easy. I don't really see myself taking damage against them. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that table just in case. But I'm just gonna, you know, make a circle around the room, move pretty broadly, get them to lock onto where I was instead of where I am. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that key on the floor so that I can grab one in the shop. So the ration would be nice, but I'd have to give up my bracket key for it, which, as you can see, does a lot of work. And I think that having that in bullet hell to just say no to certain rooms is preferable to having the ration, at least as I see it right now. Shadow bullets is also an extreme high priority, so I will take it right now. So shadow bullets, just occasionally when you shoot 2 bullets instead of 1. The second bullet doesn't take any bullets from you. Big iron is pretty good, but I'm going to keep using the moon scraper as a room clearer and say a big iron for boss fights when they occur. Whew. That almost caught me off guard. Probably on account of being inebriated, I was not quite prepared for that shot to fire right when I entered that room. But, you know, it all worked out fine. What also worked out fine was that guy charging directly into a spawning enemy and freezing him as soon as he showed up, making him what I like to call not a problem. I'm going to refill Bundle of Wands and revert to that being my room clearer on account of it having decent knockback and the ability to occasionally polymorph and therefore one-shot an enemy. This ability makes it so that on some occasions when we're fighting like a large enemy, something like a I guess a lead maiden is what they're actually called, we'll just be able to delete them from the game and not have to waste a bunch of ammo, assuming we get lucky enough for that to happen. Also, the gun can, as you just saw, polymorph jammed enemies into chickens, thus removing them from the game. So this room, I think, just has base enemies, despite having this saw blade that complicates things a little bit. And so I don't think that using the bracket is necessary here. Yeah, so we've cleared that room and we can move on. One other nice feature of the polymorph from the Bundle of Wands is that enemies who turn into other enemies when you defeat them, if they get polymorphed, lose that ability. I'm pretty embarrassed that I got hit on that room, to tell you the truth. I'm not doing so hot right now. The heart lunchbox helps out quite a bit though. That extra heart container is extremely useful. It makes up for the master round that I gave up. I've opened both chests on this floor, it seems. So we're gonna equip the big iron and go into the wallmonger fight. We're gonna go ahead and use that bracket key just to do what little damage it's worth. Just dodge out of the way of those. Through that, and just keep firing away. Keep using that, and at this point, we're pretty close to being done with this fight. So anytime I feel in danger like that, I'm going to use a blank. And that strategy has resulted in the defeat of the wallmonger and the acquisition of a flawless. Really though? Really, game? Mac 10, baby. Shit never end. It's not a good gun. I'm upset about it. I guess I'm gonna roll with it as a room clearer when I'm out of Bundle of Wands ammo, because that's really all I think it's good for. Okay, I'm gonna level with you. I didn't think about it. I didn't do this for comedic effect. In between floors, during the load screen, do you know what I did? I reached for my phone, and I looked at Clicker Heroes. Please, help me. Somebody save me. I require assistance. I'm not doing well, guys. I'm addicted to a stupid phone game. I mean, on the upside, I haven't spent any money on it, so at least there's that. I'm not like a schmuck who's just gonna waste his life savings on making real money purchases in a free-to-play game. So, I mean, at least I have that, I guess. Save me. Okay, so this is something that I've fallen for before. Never again. You see how that chicken is jammed? If you touch the jammed chicken, instead of dying like the normal chickens, it hurts you. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna empty as much starting weapon ammo into that as I have to kill it and make sure that it never actually hurts me, because if I come back here and it blends into the freaking carpet like that, there's a pretty solid chance that I could just botch it and take a full freaking heart of damage from walking into a chicken. And you know, that's not the legacy you want to have when you're playing video games on YouTube. You don't want to be the guy who's like the Geometrist gaming. He died fighting a chicken. So I'm gonna buy the heart locket, get some more HP stacked up, try and supplement the run, considering that I haven't been doing so great on the boss losses. I don't like this room. I hate these fire traps and how they hem you in. So I figure, you know, just break them, whatever. So there's the bullet. Apparently, the forge is not guaranteed to have a key like the normal shops are, because I hadn't picked one up yet this floor, and there just wasn't one. Anyways, we'll just move on, get in this ridiculous conveyor belt room, and try to clear it without lighting ourselves on fire, which honestly was very scary on that conveyor belt at the end there. Ooh. Barely noticed that thwomp in time. No. He shot 3 times and I just rolled right into it. The thwomps got me on edge. They freaked me out, man. I didn't know what to do and I panicked. And panicking is bad for you. Real bad. So I'm actually kind of hoping that the last item on this floor is something that allows item theft, because I don't think that there's any way that I'm gonna be able to procure the broccoli, and I want to get it and I want to see what it does, because I've never had it before. It's super expensive in the shop, and it was super expensive in hegemony credits to get it to even spawn in the game. And that makes me curious. I'm gonna use the moon scraper before I use the Mac 10, just on account of the moon scraper having that, you know, unlimited range and ability to occasionally hit more than one enemy at a time. But yeah, we're just, you know, we're gungeoning away. So this appears to be a lead maiden. Okay, so the moon scraper's empty. Mac 10 time. Okay, so the lead maiden's been taken care of. This room is too hectic. I dislike rooms with these hammers. They put too much onto the screen at once, and they just ruin my ability to process incoming projectiles at the level that I normally can. That backpack lets us carry more than one item. That would have been absolutely lovely on the previous floor when the ration was available, because the ration is effectively an extra life if you hold it in your active inventory slot. You know, I really kind of banked on the idea that the bracket key could potentially save me more life than the ration gives me by just deleting rooms that I don't care for. But I'm not convinced that was the right call, especially considering how slow the bracket key is to charge up. I may just not be able to use it enough. So I suspect that this room here is a treasure chest room, and I am gonna go open it up. Okay. The science cannon is what we get. So the science cannon basically inflicts status ailments. And at this point, I figure, you know, screw it. I'm just gonna go fight the dragon. We're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna try and save the bracket key for, crap. That was really bad. So what I usually try to do for that attack is actually get in the middle of it. Or not in the middle of it. I said that, and that's the opposite exactly of what I meant. I like to get into the corner so that I'm not in the middle of the attack. And basically, the shots that come down each of the side walls are... Why? So, apparently, any shot that you can damage just doesn't get hurt by the bracket at all. Which is colossally bad. I really wish I'd gone for the ration. In fact, I think the ration is the thing that would have let me turn this run into a winner on bullet hell, which, as it stands right now, it almost certainly will not be. Because instead of having, what, 2.5 hearts altogether, I would have effectively that plus 6 more, which is to say 8.5 hearts, which, you know, last time I checked, is a lot freaking more than 2.5. So, that's a mistake I'm never gonna make again. Bracket key for a black chest item, I don't think it's very good. I mean, certainly it clears rooms like none other, but the fact of the matter is, having like a ration that can completely revive you probably would have been more valuable in that active item slot. Because, I mean, the truth of the matter is, I haven't even used the bracket key all that much. God, I'm gonna have to do this again, aren't I? Yep. Yep, the MAC-10 just doesn't do enough damage, and I'm completely out of big iron ammo. Hopefully, I don't botch it and get hit again here. That would be lovely. So, we've defeated the dragon yet again. But, I don't actually think I'm gonna go directly on. I think I'm gonna clear out the rest of the floor just to make sure there's no particularly valuable shrines or anything, and just to make sure that I can't like accrue any you know what, screw it. There, bracket key. I don't want to wind up losing because I have a case of too good to use syndrome and just don't pop my active whenever it's available. Now granted, if a room's like turbo easy like that one is, then of course I'm not going to use the bracket key on it. But, you know, you can't expect that to happen all the time. That'd be ridiculous. So we have found another chest. The trouble is with keys right now, because you know what I don't have? Those. And for whatever reason, the forge shop doesn't spawn keys like every other shop in the freaking game does. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to buy broccoli. I might as well armor up. I can't purchase a half heart on top of that. I mean, I guess I'm gonna pop back here and see what happens if I crack open this green chest. Okay, yeah, I got a half heart, so that's not bad. Going in with 3 hearts and 2 armor, which is to say 8 total hits. So I can get hit 7 times, and after that, I am kaput. I explode and die violently. You know what? That one blank probably won't make that much of a difference. Yeah. 1 whole heart is definitely worth 1 blank. For sure. No doubt about it. So that was a very worthwhile endeavor. That gets me a whole extra hit before I die down here in bullet hell, which is coming up. And it is gonna be really just such a rough time. I don't have many guns is the biggest problem. I have a decent amount of HP, but all I have left is like, what, 69? Nah. Yeah. 69 bullets in the MAC-10. I have the bracket key. Whoa, you blended in with that wall way too much. That's not okay. Oh, there goes the MAC-10. Science cannon now is all I have to count on. Fortunately, at least, those guys can't steal science cannon ammunition and shoot it back at you. So that's nice. I'm gonna try and spread the love around with this bad boy. Okay. Make sure that I've got status ailments out on every enemy while I'm using it, because that's what the science cannon is good for. If you're not maximizing the status ailments on enemies, you're not using this weapon right. So just this guy, I'm gonna try and switch out to my starting weapon, and that worked out just fine. So we'll go back to the science cannon now for the next rooms. Just gonna use that. Ah, I got rushed down. The fact that there's a jammed enemy makes this room way worse. Just him not getting, killed right away by the bracket key caused me to freak out. I was paying less attention, and I got hit for it yet again. And generally, that's why I get hit. Is like, usually if I see something coming, I don't dodge it wrong. I just like don't always see the stuff that's coming at me, because there's so much visually happening on screen and just so much going on at any given moment in this game once you get to the later floors, that I don't successfully process it all. That little jammed tiny slime had me worried. Oh, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. Stay away from me. Okay. Those guys can rush you down and do damage before you even know what hits you. So now I'm in this position, and this is not the first time I've been here, where I'm in bullet hell with a starting pistol and my wits. Whew. I just gotta try and focus. Oh, that tricked me. It was off screen. I couldn't see which kind of cube did that. So I rolled forward thinking that the bullets would keep going, and they didn't. And so I got hit. Go ahead and kill this guy. I'm doing badly. Doing really poorly in this game, Doing really poorly in this game. I don't know why I'm singing that. I just thought maybe it would lighten the mood a little bit. Oh my god, just die. Just stop that, game. An ammo drop would be like the nicest right now. Instead, I'm just schlepping it with this starting weapon. Yeah, there's no way. The starting pistol is just, it's not good enough. I don't think I can make it happen. I'm just gonna get whittled down room to room because I can't clear individual rooms fast enough. Whew. These just... If that shaman would go down, then the skeleton would revert to its skull, and I could just end that. But no. Since I've got that starting pistol, that's not reliable. So that laser beam, it definitely moves around faster than I can. Break that. Oh, is he trying to summon another one? Where is he? Oh, Christ. He just made another skeleton. So, you know, I mean, screw me, I guess. Get out of here, room. I'm so done with this one. I'm gonna keep moving to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything I want in the box to the left. This is apparently a singing night. I don't actually know that song. I don't even know if those are the words to that song. For all I know, it could be like a parody song that I just sung the lyrics to, and that's not actually even the proper song. But I'm not exactly what you'd call versed in modern music. I'm more of a classic rock person. The only bands that are still around right now, other than, like, you know, legacy bands, of course, like classic rock bands, which I don't really count. The only modern band that I'm really into is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, you know, don't expect me to go around singing like pop songs or, you know, rap songs. Which I guess that's not entirely true. I do like Ed Sheeran. That's modern music, but you know, here's the I can see the end happening. It's the end is evolving right before our eyes. It's just these runs, man, when you don't get enough guns. Because I mean, the guns that I sold were all crappy. It's not like I would have gotten more ammo drops. I might have made it a little further off of those. But really, at this stage of the game, the guns that I sold would have bought me like one room apiece. Yep, there that is. There was no hope. Sometimes you just get brutalized by a run, and I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible to be bullet hell with your starting weapon, but it's pretty freaking improbable. I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. It helps out a lot.